Hello and welcome to Chief SMTG. I'm Alex. So whilst we're waiting for Kaladesh to come on and standard to rotate and new limited formats to be released, I thought we'd do something a bit different today. We're going to take a merry trip into Pauper. Pauper's really quite a fun format. It's a very cheap format as you can only use commons, so there's not that many expensive spells. So the Pauper deck I like, or the Pauper deck I've been trying online, is white-red tokens. So really this deck gained a little bit out of Eternal Masters, with Rally the Peasants being rarity shifted to common, and therefore becoming legal for Pauper. Otherwise, it's a load of cards that existed before that. I think it's a pretty fun deck. Yeah, here's the choices. Obviously, being a tokens deck, we want to basically have a load of token producing cards. So these are mainly, we have 4 Gather the Townfolk, 4 Raise the Alarm in our 2-drop slots. We have 4 Battle Screech, which to me is like a Pauper version of Lingering Souls, which makes it, to be honest, it's a really good card. We play 1 Sen's Enlistment. 1 because it's got horrendous value on it. You get basically 2/2 for 4. But Retrace is very good in long, grindy games, so that can be valuable. We also play 3 Triplicate Spirits. Again, this is almost like the Pauper version of Spectral Procession. We also play 4 Doomed Traveller. Basically, this is a creature card that you never mind dying. It has other impacts, so we'll get to those later. Talking of those impacts, we play 3 Soul Warden. Basically, because you're going to have a lot of 1/1s entering the board, you're going to have a lot of creatures entering the board, so Soul Warden is a good way to just gain life. It can be quite invaluable in some games, particularly like Burn. We also play 2 Outnumber. So this slot is more personal preference than anything. You could easily play Lightning Bolt in this slot, because we have access to red, because we want to flashback Rally the Peasants. You could play Lightning Bolt, which can be better. It can go to the face. It can take out some problematic creatures in the format like Peregrine Drake. However, Outnumber can take out bigger creatures like Gurmag Angler. So I prefer Outnumber. If you get a load of tokens, it can take out pretty much any creature. So I'm a big fan of this card. Other token enhancers, we play 3 Luma Threadfield and 3 Veteran Armourer. So the thought behind these are they give your tokens a toughness boost, which makes them harder to kill. And the card in the format that you want to be most wary of is Nausea, which is 1 and a black to give everything -1/-1. Which obviously, if you don't have either of your armourer or fields out, just kills all your tokens. We play an even split because enchantments are usually harder to get rid of than creatures. And Luma Threadfield can also be a creature because it has Morph. However, Veteran Armourer is obviously a better turn to play than Luma Threadfield in a lot of situations, so I like having the even split. I've tested 4 and 2 both ways, and I prefer 3 and 3. And then we also play 6 Pump spells. We play 4 Guardian's Pledge, which is +2/+2. To all white creatures, and all our tokens are white, so that is fine. We play 2 Rally the Peasants. So Rally is great because you get to basically cast it twice for only a single card. You can cast it from your graveyard, so it's good. But I prefer having 4 Pledge just because you can use it defensively to keep your creatures alive. It can be better in combat. If you're being blocked, you can use Pledge so that you don't lose any creatures and your opponent does. So I think Pledge is the better card, and we're already playing a lot of white. We already have other double white, so the double white casting cost isn't that prohibitive. In terms of land, we play 3 Mountains and 4 Windsguard Crag. Usually gives you access to the 1 red mana you want in a turn, and then we also play 15 Plains. So with the sideboard is basically hate cards most of the way. The most obvious hate cards are the Circle of Protection Red, which is great against Burn, and Circle of Protection Black, which is good against the mono black decks. We also play 3 Mana Tithe. Mana Tithe is a very useful counterspell in white, which you don't have much access to. So it can come in very handy. Very nice to bring in on the sideboard when you're on the play. We have access to another outnumber if you want any more removal. Relic of Progenitus is for is hate against graveyard-based decks. So any sort of delve or dredge deck, as well as it can be useful against the Peregrine Drake combo decks, as you can force them to exile their library before they get the chance to put the card back in their hand. This enchant is just a great efficient removal for artifacts or enchantments. Instant speed as well. It's very good against like affinity, because obviously you can start destroying lands, and artifact lands do see some play in Pauper. We also play 3 Suture Priests. Suture Priests are great in any form of mirror match, useful to bring against burn because they're another way to gain life, and can also be good against the Peregrine Drake decks because they basically blink their creatures a lot. So if every time they blink their creatures they lose life, then it restricts the number of times they can do it. So yeah, I'm not going to claim to be a master of the Pauper format. I just think it's a fun format. So we're going to play some one-on-ones with this deck and see how we go, and hopefully you'll join us for all of them.